Well, I am at Pebblebrook, and you need to come on up here. 60 years. I can remember being here 60, well, not 60 years ago. I can remember being here at Pebblebrook. I am Mary Ward Cater. I was Mary Ward back then. Yes. I can remember this school building. Yeah, they need a new front. I can remember I was, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Do I remember? I remember Betty Gray. I remember Betty Gray. I think she's deceased now, but I remember Betty Gray. But Betty wasn't here when I came in the 60s. This is a history moment for me, more than anybody else here, because I was one of the first black students at Lindley Middle School. This was Lindley Middle School, but now it's Pebblebrook, 60 years strong. So I don't think all of the 60 years was here, but it was in Mableton. It was 60 years of Pebblebrook. And that's important because we've had a lot of new black peoples to migrate here. Most of the peoples in office did not come from here. Most of your elected officials in the black community did not come from this area. So I always encourage them. If you want to know black history for Cobb County, go to Kennesaw State University Oral History Room, where Dr. Thomas Scott and that matriarch Deanna Bonner of the Cobb County NAACP did, yours truly worked on it, did a project of oral history for the NAACP. You should visit Kennesaw State University Oral History Room. Back to the history. These were the doors that I walked into in 1968, 69. I walked into those doors, Xenophon and Allen, before you all was even thought of. Those are my boys. I walked into these doors right here. And the first people that I met was J.B. Stoner, Governor Lester Maddox. It was some Cobb County police here. The principal, I think it was Dr. Holliday. No, it wasn't Dr. Holliday. He was tall, black. He came from Washington Street Elementary School. And they brought him here. It was one or two black teachers from Washington Street that they brought for the black students, but all the students, because we had to be able to adjust. And they walked us through these doors right here. I can remember it. I can remember the trophy cases over to the side as they are now, and the building is not. No, they moved the trophy cases from the trophy cases was right there. We stood right there. That's where we stood at. And J.B. Stoner was real mad. But we were children. I was going to the 6th grade. So I didn't know why he was mad at me or why he hated me. But I tell you, them state troopers, those policemen was there. And it wasn't a joke. But we didn't know what it was about. And this is Old Alabama Street right here. They really need to rename it from Old Alabama, y'all. I'm just sorry. Ain't no family name Old Alabama. Let's be real. In Cobb County, there is not a family. Normally, streets are named after families. There's not a family called Old Alabama. Old Alabama was a redneck name. And they brought us in here. J.B. Stoner fought for that street. Governor Lester Maddox fought for that street. Okay, that no niggers should be down here. And that's what they called us, y'all. It didn't offend me, not unless a student called me that. And I got in a few fights. Yeah, but those teachers was here to tell us. I remember Miss Mims. Miss Mims took me to her wealthy house out in Paces Ferry. You go down Bolton, go down to Battle Creek, take a left, and she took me to my first movie ever in my life. It was Oliver Twist. Now I remember all of that stuff. Yeah, Oliver Twist. He danced. I had never been to a movie. Never had heard of the word movie. Okay, that is so dumb, Mary. You had never heard of a lot of words. It was something, and they put us off right here. That's where they put us off at. But now, y'all, my daddy, if you read the story that I posted on my Facebook about my sister Virginia, who was really the first black student at Pebblebrook High School, which was over on Pebblebrook Circle. That was the motherhood area of the Ku Klux Klan, they said. Okay, I remember the girl that got raped walking home. When you missed the bus, you walked home. The girl that got raped. I remember when my house was shot into, the person that called me. That was cats, animals, cats on the line, lived on that street. It was serious business. It wasn't no play toy back then. You wasn't playing, although we were very, the Bible said we were sometime ignorant. We were, read Titus, so you won't say I called you ignorant. We were sometime ignorant. When we walked into this school right here, Marjorie Beavers, Cynthia Beavers, me, and seemed like it was one other, but I can't think who it was. When we walked into them doors, and y'all, they're the same doors. It looks the same way from 60 years ago. It would have been 60 years ago when we walked into this building. I think it would have been 60 years. No, it wouldn't have been 60 years. It was in 68 because Virginia graduated in 1970 as the first black student that graduated in South Cobb County. When they did that article on Virginia as a thesis, uh, they called us. Virginia didn't want to do the article, and because a lot of folks didn't understand the history of civil rights. Okay, it offends a lot of black people. It offends them. It hurts them when they hear all that stuff. But I got her to do that article with Dr. Tom Scott. Tom was the only one that could pull Virginia to do that article and she not be fearful. And they posted the article, and whoever did a detailed article on my sister. She is still living. She looks as young as me, almost. Her hair is all gray, but my sister is still living. And they said, Mary, they said, normally in the boycotts, it was a lot of students. In the sit-ins, it was a lot of students. When they marched, Brown versus Roe versus Wade, Brown versus Board of Education, when they marched, it was a lot of students. And what amazed them was in South Cobb County, it was only one girl, one student, not some students. It was one student. It was Virginia Gale Ward. And they asked her, how many others? Where is the crowd that was with you? When Dr. Tom Scott and Kathy and them did the interview, they were trying to find the other students that was with Virginia. There was no more. It was only Virginia. Virginia Gale Ward, my sister. But now my daddy believed in shotguns. And my daddy escorted her to school that day. My sister Suzanne, is a book on her. My dad escorted Suzanne to Harmony Leland. I can remember the uh, TB epidemic. My son was one that he had to be treated for a whole year. I remember that epidemic that broke out on the football team. And by that time, they had moved over here to Pebblebrook. I remember when they wanted to boycott and shut down Harmony Leland. Coach Hare was the principal over there then. Anytime they told me something like that, I was ready to fight. I'm just being honest with you. I had a right. My house was right over that tree right there. Y'all see that tree that I'm pointing at? That's where my house that they shot into. The little boy that I said, Xenophon, Satan really wanted to kill my baby, y'all. Xenophon was the student that almost got killed in the house, 7-year-old. I've been begging Monica Pearson Kaufman. I've been begging Fred, my friend Blankenship, please give me the tapes of the shooting on October the 12th, 1983, when Columbus discovered America, and the thought was no black folks was included. Xenophon was the little boy that almost got shot in half. A guinea pig saved his life. I guess that's why I'm so scared of animals. Xenophon